Kenny, how's practice today?
Good. Practice was good.
Yeah. What's the vibe like with the guys coming off that win?
I feel like the main focus this week is just to stay focused, make sure we don't get too high on our words from that big win last week, and to just keep grinding and make sure we're prepared for Army.
You guys are pretty physical against East Carolina. Where did that come from?
Coach Lepp always emphasizes violence, every week. So, we just went out there, we played our game, we were violent. What UTSA is capable of, what we typically do.
This was one of the best performances of Coach Traylor's tenure. How does that sort of impact your mentality coming back for another week when you're coming off such a high like that?
Again, we're just focused on making sure we're not too prosperous. What Coach Traylor was talking about in the team meeting, to make sure we're not too prosperous, make sure we're still working to get better this week and to make sure that, eyes on the prize, beating Army. So.
You guys locked up bowl eligibility in that game. What is the motivation for this final week? Why is the Army game important?
As people might know, we lost to them twice at home, and Army's always been a tough opponent for us. So, just going to this week, we already have the bowl, but we make sure we want to go out and make sure we send the seniors out on that 25-0, undefeated home record in conference, and make sure we give the seniors that, and just to make sure we end the season on a good note.
Is there anything that stands out about why Army has been such a challenge for UTSA in recent years?
They're a very disciplined team, America's team. So, it's just, I don't know, it's always just been a tough rivalry. This is Military City, USA too, so, they're playing at the Dome, but, they also got a lot of fans there too, so that might, play a role into it.
Kenny, what's the key to defending the option?
Physicality, make sure gap sound, and just disciplined football.
You guys have faced a few options this season. Does that help, or is it just too different?
Oh yeah, it for sure helps. Army's, we faced that kind of against Rice, so it definitely helps. But Army, they're very unique in the way they run it. So.
Is there anything you learned going against Army last year that kind of carries over?
Oh yeah, physical team. They come off the rock like their old linemen come off the rock like defensive linemen. So that's just one thing I definitely learned from that game, and it was good playing them. It was a lot of good experience, and I'm gonna take that into this game this week.
How about the schematic side of it, just kind of knowing where your eyes need to be and what it's like going against that option look? What did you learn last year from that perspective?
A lot of like that option stuff is just it's very you basically got to scheme it up, basically a whole new game from like what you're typically used to playing. So it's just different, and it's a lot to learn. Definitely in that 1 week you get leading up to the game, but I think we're preparing well.
Is it fun playing against a team like that, or is it frustrating? What is it? What are the emotional side?
As a D lineman, it's not as flashy, obviously. So it's real physical and just real hard-nosed stuff. So I wouldn't say it's as fun as normally as most weeks, but it's still something that we got to go out and execute.
You guys have talked about tackling and physicality a lot this year, just as a defense overall. How would you rate the way you guys are performing in that sense right now? Are you happy with where that level of physicality is from your defense?
Looking at the ECU game, for sure. Sometimes this season, we definitely didn't live up to that standard in a couple games. But coming off this ECU game, we know what we're capable of, and we know that we go into this next game with that same mentality that we can make something work for sure.
It seems like the last couple games you guys have been happier with the tackling and the physicality side of it. What has changed, or how did you guys kind of turn a corner?
It's just a matter of just being focused, emphasizing the right things during the week, going to the game and going to the game with the right mentality, not turning anything physical down, not turning anything down, and so it's just really locking into the our key values as Roadrunners.
How do you feel about the season you've put together individually?
Individually, I feel like my first year actually getting ample playing time. It's been pretty decent. I feel like there's a lot of things that I feel like I left on the table, a lot of things that I look to improve, and I feel like I didn't live up to that standard in my head, but that means it's only up from here for sure.
Are there things you feel like you're better at now compared to earlier in the years? You've kind of gotten your feet wet and got some experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just recognizing runs and converting from run to pass and all that, and my pass rush game as a whole has gone a little bit better for sure, but still a lot to improve on.
You told us early in the season that you still feel some kind of nerves and anxiety on game day. Is that any different now that you've done it for a full year?
Not really. Crazy to say that, but yeah, not really. But I feel like with even more experience, I guess that will slowly go away.
There's some positives to that, right? Like just an energy level just kind of gets you fired up. Like what does that do for you on game day?
Oh yeah, I mean it makes me a lot more like just awake, aware, twitchy. Yeah, so yeah, it helps in that facet for sure.
Is there anything to bowl eligibility that, we're at 6, but it sure would feel nice to really confirm and get that 7th in the eyes of any committee out there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we want to, what Coach Schroeder said at the end of this practice, we want to go out the season and have people, saying like, oh, like we're glad the Roadrunners aren't in the championship right now. And so that's definitely like the note we want to go out on this season.
It's Thanksgiving week. What are you thankful for?
Oh, I mean, everything. I'm grateful for my position on this team. I'm grateful for the opportunity given to me. I'm grateful for my family, the support, my girlfriend. I'm grateful for, coaching staff. I'm grateful for a lot of things for sure.
I can
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right, sure. Thank you.